Hey, good day. Welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Okay, let's take a look at current blood sugar. Current blood sugar is 10.4. Had a few corrections. I bumped up at breakfast again. So who knows? I have an appointment today with my diabetic nurse, so you'll probably see that on tomorrow's video when we talk about it. But still, mostly today, and then I pump up, and it just takes it for a whole nother look. Let's take a look at the background information. My pump has 139.5 units of insulin. It seems fully ready to go. Battery life is starting to wane a bit. A couple of days I'll have to change the battery. Transmitter is working, and I have 5 days left on my sensor. Tuesday, it'll go down to 4 shortly. Okay, let's get out of here. Time in range is 97%, 3% above. Blood sugar, this creeped up, so this is creeped up. Earlier this morning, this was at 6.9. It's changing a bit, but all in all, pretty good numbers. Now, today, I want to talk to you about institutionalized care for diabetes. I'm in an institution, so a medical long-term care. So let's talk and see what is good about it and what isn't. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. Back when I was diagnosed with diabetes, it was very common for a diabetic to be institutionalized for part of their time. And I don't mean for great lengths. I'm talking about 1 or 2 weeks getting readjusted. Having the flexibility of what we have now wasn't there. Now, I say that now coming from an institution. I'm in long-term care, and part of the reason I'm in long-term care is because of my type 1 diabetes. I go low, I can go high, it's all over the place. But letting you know is one of the important things that now it's uncommon to have a diabetic be in an institutionalized just for the diabetes. In fact, for me, if I just had diabetes, I wouldn't be in a facility. There are other reasons I'm here too, but my diabetes does play a role. There's no real diabetic specialist in this setting. I'm treated with people whose experience is pretty much with a type 2 diabetes. And granted, that's what they deal with most. Most people who come in are a type 2. Us type 1s are very rare. There is another lady in my ward area who is a type 1. She's a little bit more senior than I am, but she is a type 1. So she's also not here just because of her diabetes. Her diabetes is secondary. They follow very traditional diabetes routine of what they were taught in medical school, nursing school, that you do X, Y will happen. You have high blood sugar, you do X, give more insulin, and it drops. They are totally amiss when things don't go how they are expected to go. I'm a prime example of that. There are two of us who have type 1 diabetes on this ward. There's me, and the other person I believe is Chuck Davis. That's not his real name. I'm just using a pseudonym to protect his anonymity. Okay? Now, Chuck isn't having as much problems as I am. He pretty well takes his medication. Things go as they're taken care of, and he gets his shot every day. He's older than I am, and things do well. Even in institutions, people like myself have problems. I have to rely on my diabetic nurse, who, if I didn't mention, I'll mention here, that I do have an appointment with her today, so we'll see her tomorrow. I think I did mention that already, but if I didn't, you'll hear the next video will be more of a check-in with her. Now, my diabetes has always been an issue about trying to maintain control. I went to a boarding school, and I almost got kicked out of the boarding school because of my diabetes, on how bad my diabetes was. And of course, they thought it was me doing things. It isn't. Well, not me up here. My body had different intentions. So even, thinking, oh, well, your diabetes, you had an emergency. You were brought in with a low blood sugar. And it used to freak my mother out immensely that I was let go. She was the one that used to have to call 911. But again, it would freak her out that, oh, you should be kept in the hospital to get things under control. Well, I've said it before on this channel, and I think it's worth repeating, that, how do I say this? Institutions are no places for diabetics. The best thing for you to do is to get out, experience life, so that they can see what your body will do. For myself, I'm looking for the chance to get a chair that I can utilize, that I can go out. Right now I'm in a manual, but I can go out, experience life out on the outside, come back and get the care I need here. But then we'll be able to see what my true numbers are. Just have to modify my seat, sorry. Now, diabetics will always do better on the outside than they will on the inside. Admissions into care are usually hyperglycemic or it's in relationship to another illness. Having diabetes is not a reason to immediately, oh, you should be in a home somewhere. You should be in a group facility. There are many, many diabetics out there who live a prosperous life. They get up, they go to work, they drive a car. The only thing is they have to watch what they eat, they have to do their medications. So, all in all, pretty good. Had some tickle there. But institution for a problem diabetic can be a hiding place. I have gone from every couple of months heading into emergency to where I started to take control of my diabetes as best I can. And there's no perfect here. I can tell you that. I may try to implement the rules, but they don't always make sense. And my body has a mind of its own. Trust me. Having me in this facility is a blessing, because when I go low, they're there. Someone's always able and has kept me from tying up in a acute bed in emergency. That's the main goal. I have medical help if I need it. I have a hospital literally on the same block as I'm in. So we can very easily get in there. Keeping your body ready to go at any time is the go. So get out, live your life the way you want to. Just remember, don't have diabetes here. Oh, I can't do that because I have diabetes. Oh, I can't do this because I have diabetes. Let diabetes just be a slight reminder in the back of the head. I just do this to illustrate how diabetes can be very much in your face. Or you can have control and it not be so worried. I, throughout the day at periodic times, will do what I'm doing now. I'm checking, I'm seeing I'm at 10.5. So all in all, it's pretty good. I haven't gone up, I'm remaining at 10.5. So I don't necessarily have to do a finger poke. I do a finger poke 4 times a day. I still keep that up. That's the way I'm able to keep tight control, because I don't feel lows. And that's part of my issue of being a diabetic. I don't feel lows coming on. And as that, I have run into problems. I used to wake up on the floor all the time. I was just saying to a nurse, since being here, I haven't had that. And thank God they're pretty cement floors. At least I would used to have a carpeted bedroom. Now I don't have that. But, keeping yourself alert and active is key to your control. Don't end up in an institution like I did. My care, there was issues that kind of pointed this direction. And I said at the beginning, yes, being in an institution was a plus, but there's also minuses. They would love that I would give them total control of my diabetes. They would just love that. They'd be able to solve everything, and life would be wonderful. I just had to sit here and do nothing. I've gone into emergency here, and one of the nurses said, well, why don't you just let the nurses do it all? And I said, no, I've been through enough that I don't really trust that many people with my diabetes until they've proven themselves. And coming here, the first thing they wanted to do was to get me off the pump, get me on shots, which they would give. They would determine what insulin I needed. And I don't think so. I don't think that's really a good thing. So, here we sit. I know I did a lot of videos from the bed. Well, that was because of medical reasons. I couldn't really get up. I could get up, but it just wasn't comfortable. But now I'm getting up. We've met the next criteria, and soon I'll be in a power chair, which I'll be able to take outdoors and see the area I live now call home. It's a different area than where I come from. So it'll be interesting. My old chair, when I got here, I made it to a couple of places, but I wasn't comfortable with it. I'm looking forward to learning the area. I may start a different channel. Mike Learns Mission. But it's all good. So, the positives, I have someone here all the time. I can ring my bell, someone will come in, and if I'm low blood sugar, I get the sugar quick. I don't have to go and try to open up my fridge, and sit there and try to find stuff to eat. Those days are gone. So, keeping myself alert, I think controlling my diabetes allows me to keep the mind fresh. Some people have hobbies, I have my diabetes. I work with my doctor, with my diabetic nurse, and we try different forms of treatment. There are different types that I don't think people here would even understand why we're doing it. They can understand how we're doing it, but why we're doing it. So institutionalized care, for me, was an answer. It should be for every diabetic. Each case is different, and again, you've got to remember, diabetes can't be pigeonholed. My diabetes is different from your diabetes, and we should be never trying to say, well, this worked on her, why shouldn't it work on him? No, that's not a plus. Take care of your diabetes out there. Have a great day, and we'll talk tomorrow with the results of my nurse. My next vlog topic will be My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.